Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and if you see this, you know what time it is. It's that time again to rank all of the artifacts in the game. And wow, since the last time I made this video just 5 months ago, maybe less than 5 months ago, there have been 31 new artifacts added. So that's more than double what was originally in the video. Because originally in the video, it was these 20 artifacts that you're seeing right here, all the way up to the Hela Asgard Invasion update. But now we have 31 new ones for a whopping total of 51, and so we're going to go through all of them. Now, I had a bit of a problem with my export PNG issues with Photoshop, so they are cut off at the top and bottom. However, a plus of that is they're much higher definition, they're higher quality. So you let me know what you prefer. Do you prefer to see the little diamond thing, but they're kind of lower res because they're scrunched down? Or do you prefer the higher res versions that are a little cut off? But yes, these are all of the artifacts in the game currently, and let's go ahead and rank them. For the ranking, I've added one extra tier at the top, meta, because when I was looking at this list, I realized, you know, although Wolverine and Gilgamesh's artifacts are 100% needed if you want to use them in PvP, for example, they're not meta. They're not meta anymore. Wolverine is like meta-ish, like he can still counter speed types really well, but he's not quite meta. So there's going to be a bit of a reshuffling here. Meta means that the character is meta. It doesn't necessarily mean that you must get the artifact, but it's just sort of a difficult thing to express because, you know, the artifact is needed, but the character is not meta anymore, especially when it comes to, like, you know, Hela, for example. She's not really meta in PvP. She is as a support, but as a standalone character, she's not. So yeah, if the character is meta and their artifact is required, that's basically a really good indication of that. So Emma Frost and Adam Warlock are two very, very obvious targets for this. Spider-Man is another obvious target. The only reason why you wouldn't need Spider-Man's dodge artifact is if you didn't care about PvP, but even for PvE, it's really good. It's just not necessary, so it's not needed. So this list is going to be, like the meta list, the meta category is not going to be very big. So I don't want to worry you guys too much about keeping track of that sort of stuff. But like Kingpin's meta for ABX. So if you want to use him in ABX, you should try to get his artifact. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Let's get into it and see here. So if you want to use Mr. Sinister in PvP, just like Hela, just like Wolverine, he's got the Immortality Null passive artifact. So it is 100% needed for PvP. However, Mr. Sinister is not that good for PvP. I would say Green Goblins is good. We're going to move Kingo's down to good. I would say Green Goblins is very good. I would put it at the top of good. It basically just gives him more attack. The thing is, Green Goblin's 5th skill gives him 100% all attack, so you probably don't need more of that. It's just like a good artifact. It's not mind-blowing or anything like that, but it gives him some good stats. I would say Dr. Octopus's, although it's a little bit more niche, is a little bit better because it gives him increased damage rather than increased attack. It gives him increased damage to specific types, creatures, and aliens. I kind of like that effect. So I'm going to put that there. Ultrons, these artifacts that give you iframe ignore, I honestly think that they're not enough. I might be a bit salty when I do this ranking for these, but let me just double check here. I'm pretty sure that Kate Bishop's is exactly the same, and that's sort of how I feel about these artifacts, where it's a chance to attack. Yeah. Also, yeah, hers is not enough, to be honest, because hers also gives her, she ignores some of the non-boss damage decrease. That's a PvP ability. Kate Bishop is not good for PvP, my dudes, so there's just no way. For Gamora, what is her artifact again? Ignore, dodge, and increase damage to enemies with 50% HP or below. That's like okay. Yeah, it's not great. It's not bad. Oh, Black Cat's is very meta. We're going to put that one up there. Echo's is good. I would say it is very good. It's the same thing as Spider-Man's, except that Echo is not meta. So, not as meta as Spider-Man. She's still kind of meta. Electro's is also pretty good, I would say. Better than just good. It gives him additional shock damage, or when he deals shock damage, it gives him additional attack, and it stacks like Kingpin's does. He's just not as meta for ABX as Kingpin is. I think he sort of is meta for ABX, but I think a lot of people will just go with the much cheaper option in Green Goblin. Betsy's is interesting. She's one of the only ones that got guaranteed, like a guaranteed crit damage increase on her artifact, which is very, very rare. I would say it is very good. It's difficult to say, though, because Betsy, you know, it's been a while since we've tested her out a lot. Again, Deadpool with these iframe ignore, I almost want to call him useless, you know, honestly. But yeah, debuff and all attack. It's actually, you know what? His artifact is actually good. This is really annoying. He's just not good. So don't get baited by his artifact. His artifact is good, but he's not. So I'm going to put him here. That's a fair evaluation of the artifact, but the character is bad. So I want to make that clear. America Chavez and Colossus. So annoying. So technically, if you want to use Colossus seriously in PvP, you need his artifact because the artifact heals him. But the artifact is useless because the heal is not enough to make him survive. So I don't really know where to put that. You know what I'm saying? I think it makes sense to put it in needed. But again, he's not good for PvP. He's only still a support. And it's just, this is honestly, Colossus's artifact is the example of the worst possible artifacts in the game. In the sense that they're so powerful for the character. Like he has a 10% heal that he can pop off every 5 seconds. But yet the execution of that heal is so terrible because it's a 50% chance to trigger when he's hit. So bad, so bad. No, you know what? I'm going to put it in not enough. That's where it deserves to go. That's where it belongs. I don't care. That's where we're putting it. We had this discussion. That's where we're putting it. Scarlet Witch is very meta, so therefore, so is her artifact. It gives her increased damage to villains. Very, very, very. It also gives her increased damage to heroes. Yeah. Interesting. Who else we got here? Caecilius just gives himself what exactly? Increased damage to heroes. I mean, this is borderline useless. It's more like the character's useless. But we'll just... Oh, here you go. Clea. As useless gets. Absolutely. Thanos's... I'd say Thanos's artifact is good. I wouldn't say it's like... He's meta, but I wouldn't say his artifact is meta. Some people will disagree with me on that, but I don't notice too much of a difference here. Drax has the stacking effect, but he just doesn't do enough damage, so his is also in the not enough category. America Chavez gives you decreased boss damage reduction. That one is just good. It's just not that good. Honestly, they definitely could have given America Chavez a second effect on her artifact. Very few artifacts have one effect. And I'm not really sure why they decided for America Chavez to just give her one effect. Plus, it only goes up to 30%. That's not very good. It's a passive, so it doesn't have an activation rate or anything like that. But it's just not very good. Vulture and Sandman and Mysterio, I want to just knee-jerk say that it's garbage. Increases instinct critical rate and basic attack. Yeah, let's be honest, guys. The thing is with these artifacts that the artifacts themselves are not useless, but the characters are useless. If you're not gonna notice a 6-star artifact on Vulture because he's terrible, right? He's terrible. So it's more, you know, that's really. And then I think Sandman decreases the damage he receives from superheroes. It also increases his max HP. That's pretty cool. But he didn't get a rework. So if he got a rework plus that artifact, honestly, the artifact would be very good because it gives him max HP and damage reduction from heroes. And as a combat type, he's great against speed types. He could have been a counter to Spider-Man in PvP. But the devs didn't give him a uniform, so here we are. So yeah, I would keep an eye maybe on these artifacts in case you know, Sandman and Vulture get reworks. But in the meantime, no. Mysterio gets ignore, dodge, and damage to heroes. It's like not good enough, man. Like I guess it's good. It's a bit better than America Chavez's. It's just not that good. I hate having a second line on these tier lists, so just kind of bear with me here. But yeah, it's not good enough. Doctor Strange's, I would say, is also good. I thought it was really bad at first, but it actually triggers a lot more than we thought. It's just not that good. I'll put it in very good. I actually think it's better than. I think it's better than that. It gives him damage. It gives him offense and defense. Ancient Ones gives him damage to villains and decreases damage received. That is actually very good. Yeah, that's both offense and defense, as we said, is a very good combination. Is that better than Psylocke though? Is that better than Dr. Octopus's? Probably. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that ranking. Yeah, maybe Sif's is a bit overranked. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that ranking. I like that ranking. The more I look at it, the more I agree with it. Wong just gives himself basic attack. That's good. That's as good as Green Goblin's. Wong is pretty good, I would say. So I think he deserves to be about there. Probably better than Green Goblin's, because Wong needs it more than Green Goblin does. He doesn't have that crazy buff that Green Goblin has. And then we have the stupid ignore dodge, ignore iframe. So annoying, dude. Baron Mordo, same thing. It's just not enough, dude. It's just not enough. I'm sorry. The devs have to stop doing this. If they're going to give them iframe ignore on an artifact, that's a really powerful effect. Just give them the effect, or make it tied to a skill whenever they use their 6th skill or their 5th skill or whatever. But don't make it an activation rate. Activation rate is the most anus, I said anus, and heinous thing that the devs ever created for Marvel Future Fight. It started with obelisks, 10% chance to activate. Okay, and that created a whole headache. It's better now, but because they added more hits to all skills. But activation rate is one of the dumbest things in Marvel Future Fight. Ignore dodge and all attack for Gwenpool. That's honestly pretty good. It's not bad. I would put it about there. And then for Hawkeye, what does Hawkeye get? That was the free one that everyone got. He gets, oh yeah, right. He gets damage, sort of like a mini rage. That one is good as well, I would say. That one is good as well. So this is what the tier list looks like. My God, it's so crowded now. There's over 50 artifacts in Marvel Future Fight. And I would say it looks like almost half of them are good, right? We've got 6 in the first row, 6 in the second row, and 9 in the last row. So that's 21 artifacts, a little bit less. Maybe 40% of the artifacts are good. And then, well, that literally says good. So that means more than 50% if you count this category. But I would say 40% of the artifacts are very good. And then, you know, another 15% are good. And then the rest are kind of yikes. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of this ranking and if you agree, disagree, and why. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. And smash the like button. Take care.